that's good. I mean, not good for you, but like good for our purposes.
Take what we have.
That's perfect, because so many people actually reach out to us with allergies that are struggling with stuff. So like, not that we can make medical claims, but it's good that you have allergies and yet you could still use products, right?
Yeah.
Vegetarian,
Hmm.
which this must be like awesome for you because of like, I don't know, everything like Leaving Bunny approved, gluten-free, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
Wife, interesting story that she calls her husband Howie, but she didn't know forever that his last name was actually Howard. And like, she just called him Howie because that's what everyone called him.
Did not know his name when we were dating. The
Yeah.
first part of dating him, someone asked me who Brett was, and I had no idea. No, like not even the slightest idea of what my husband's real first name was.
That's okay. I mean, whatever.
So he's
crazy dog mom. Oh yeah, you love your dog. Dog. Or 3, right? God, you and Amber with the dogs, dude.
I know. I didn't mean to get all of them. They just happened.
Gosh. And then, and not that all of that isn't impressive, but a cardiac, oh my God, a cardiac surgical ICU nurse. So dude, she went through COVID. Her, Amber were on the front lines during COVID, and we would hear from Sami like literally how bad it actually was. And she would always like reach out to us, and she worked through everything, and she would work freaking 12, 16-hour shifts. She would do overnights. She would still show up for her team. She would do everything. So when Lindsay and I were trying to think of like, oh my gosh, she would be like really good at wellness, because like neither of us know anything when it comes to wellness. We're like, oh, wellness, okay. I'm like, oh my God, you know who'd be really good? I'm like, Sami. Like Sami always posts stuff about wellness and knows stuff about wellness. And Sami's like, my sister and I will do it. So you guys are here to help us. So thank you. So I'm going to mute and you just take it away. You tell us everything wellness. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. Lindsay just reminded me something. So Greta had mentioned before, she's like, here's the great thing about wellness and what makes it different than hair care and skincare. You know, our hair care lasts us, like the shampoo can last us for a freaking year, right? Skincare lasts us forever. If you get someone hooked on sleep drops, if you get somebody hooked on greens, collagen, anything, that's something that's a constant flagship and a constant source of like income month after month after month after month. So when you look at wellness through that lens of like, yes, you're sharing the products, but you're also sharing the opportunity to make money and to have that constant residual flagship, that's key. So thanks, Lynn, for the reminder. Okay, take it away.
All right. So my name is Sami. Hello, everyone. This is my sister, Chelsea. She is a pretty new market partner. She's one of my first VIPs. Very passionate about the hair care, but when wellness came out, she was obsessed with it. Back history on Chelsea. She's not only a peds nurse, she's a nurse practitioner and a master herbalist. So she knows everything about like the ingredients of stuff, how they act in the body. Sometimes I don't even understand what she's saying. So I'm like, we're going to do this together, okay? But I have had a lot of success posting on my stories with the wellness line. I am absolutely obsessed with wellness. We'll kind of break it down. I'm an outline person. That is how I learn best. That is how I see best. So that's kind of like how I'm going to do it. But something to remember that kind of, especially going through COVID, when COVID first hit back in March, I was actually on a step down unit that was like the first COVID floor. So everyone on my entire unit got sick, got COVID. All of the nurses, like everyone who was taking care of the patients, every single one of them got sick. I had a 2-day migraine and I kept working. I had no idea I even had it until I had antibodies for months. And I attribute that to eating healthy, taking care of myself. I was taking a ton of vitamins. And if I would have had this immune support pill back then, that migraine would have been gone, but I am a big believer in taking care of yourself before you need to. So wellness will always be cheaper than illness. So remember that if someone ever tells you that like quality wellness products are too expensive, wellness will always be cheaper in the long run than an illness. Take care of yourself now before there is an issue, before you have a cold, before you develop a disease, before you develop illness. Taking care of yourself now will give your body a fighting chance instead of working from behind trying to fight that virus, that cold, whatever you have. So I want to start with our total greens. Yeah. Okay. So
Can I interject real quick?
yeah.
So I know she mentioned like colds and flus and things like that. We're going to break down some of like the lesser known ingredients and some of the lesser known compounds in these products, but not only just your common stuff, but this is good for long-term avoidance of chronic illness as well. We're going to be talking about things that protect your liver, things that protect your kidneys, things that help with, high blood pressure. Now, I know that we can't make medical claims, but the way that we say it in the herbal world is that this supports cardiac health. We can't say, we can't make the claim that this will prevent cardiac disease, but if you word it that way, sometimes you can kind of scoot around like the logistics of things a little bit.
Yeah, like your wording is important. So saying support is important instead of claiming this will lower your blood pressure. This will help support your cardiovascular, stuff like that. So starting with the total greens, we kind of wanted to take like the resource library and like the product info sheets are so great. And you guys all have access to it. So I kind of wanted to do something different than just pulling that up and reading it to you because everyone can do that. And there's so many good wellness calls out there that are recorded that we have access to. So we already know there's 37 fruits and veggies. We all know that it's 4 grams net carbs, which is very important for people. Diabetics really have a hard time intaking fruit because you have a couple of scenarios of what you can and can't say about medical claims. Yeah. So the Slave Squad has the files tab and everything, or the units tab that you can check all of that out with. So with diabetics, they cannot a lot of times intake enough fruit and vegetables because there are a lot of sugars in it. So the fact that our total greens have only 4 grams of net carbs is so good for people who have to watch their sugar or people who are following keto diets. It is huge. The fact that we also have 4 grams of fiber is very important because our everyday diets, most of us are not getting enough fiber, which adds to a lot of digestive issues, leads to absorption issues. I know you want to talk about how it's like non-stimulating.
Yes. So there's 2 different types of like fiber, if you will, out there that will help get things moving in your system. One is considered like a stimulant. So that's gonna motivate you. That's gonna make you go. And that's not necessarily something that you want to take every day because it can be habit forming. It can be rough on your gut. And let's be honest, nobody wants to go at a time that they shouldn't be wanting to go. But this fiber works with the water in your body already to just kind of get things moving naturally. So the fancy word is like your peristalsis or your movement in your intestines. So this will just help encourage that. It's not going to be, just like really overstimulating to where it's going to be uncomfortable or cause any issues like that.
So I have a lot of times like on my stories, like just shown mixing up the greens and everything. So I will literally show people the ingredients because the ingredients are so good. I will take a screenshot of it and send it to people because that speaks volumes. Most of the stuff will literally say organic this, organic this. Our greens are not that expensive for how good they are and how much nutrients you have. It really is such a good deal. And the scoop is not that big. I have so many like vegan protein powders that it'll say like 30 grams of protein. And I open it up and the scoop is literally half of the bottle. It's so big and they make you like you have to do multiple scoops to be getting your recommended dose. And ours is not that big of a scoop to be getting all of our greens and everything. So we wanted to break down just a couple of the ingredients that like are not really known to people, like the benefits, because we all know like, hey, carrots are great. Pineapple is great. Like all of the things are great, right? But did you know that we have milk thistle seed in our greens? So this has been an herb used for like centuries to help support liver. It also supports skin health. It boosts breast milk production. And it also attaches to free radicals in your body. So free radicals are basically things that can cause illness, harm, cancer. So in taking like your antioxidants is really important. And the fact that this attaches to free radicals that you get ingested in your body is amazing. It can help regulate your blood sugar, helps with like anxiety, OCD. So there are like who would think that milk thistle seed would be something that would have all of those like properties? It also has green matcha tea, which I don't know that much about, but she does. So I'll let her talk about that.
So it's kind of a just general knowledge that green tea is great for you. I think that especially the last few years has really taken off in just the general diet. A lot of people know that green tea has some good stuff in it. So matcha is essentially, they take the green tea leaves, they dry them, and then they grind them into a powder. So it's ultra concentrated green tea. And the benefits come from catechins, and those are so great systematically for you. They can help support health that can combat Alzheimer's, hypertension. They can help support cardiac health. And they're super high in antioxidants. It's great, to fight against those free radicals that you were mentioning. And it's honestly, it's delicious too. So that's where a lot of the flavor comes from. I know personally, I just had a baby a few months ago and I had gestational diabetes, and I'm also vegan. So finding something that was low carb, that was going to be not 18 scoops of powder, because with that comes added sugar and all of that, but having a way to get nutrients so concentrated was huge. And one of those phytonutrients that is so concentrated is the spirulina in it. That's what gives it that really dark green color. It's one of the most nutrient dense foods like in existence. It's just a powerhouse. It has a pretty strong taste. So I was surprised because when I mixed it for the first time, I was like, I thought I was going to have it looks like there's spirulina in it. And I drank it and I was like, oh, you don't get that taste at all. Cause it can kind of taste kind of like kelpy almost, or kind of just not the greatest
like
taste.
Grass.
Yeah, it's not great. But this is great because you get the benefits of it, but you don't have to taste it. So that's really nice. And the components in it as well, just the fact that it promotes breastfeeding is great, because everything's so broken down that it's readily available for not only me, but for Cooper as well, to get all of those nutrients on board.
So I have had, I don't know how many of you have tried like another greens powder, or let's say like a vegan protein powder or whatever. Sometimes they don't mix that well. Ours, I think, mixes very well. I have no issue with texture, like the texture of it. I have no issue with any of that. But what they add to a lot of powders is called xanthan gum, and we don't have that in ours. So leaving that out makes it doesn't dissolve as something would,
like Ovaltine powder.
Yeah, like something you would buy in the store. So that's something when people say, oh, it didn't dissolve all the way. Well, we didn't add to our product to make it dissolve. It's all natural, ready for you. Your body is going to use it as it is instead of putting like additives into it.
Yeah, I'll even tell people if you were to, let's say, I know that there's like cherries in this. So, if you chop up cherries and throw them in a glass of water, you're going to see them. And that's one of the things that I always promote. I'm like, you can see the fruits in these, you can see the vegetables. That's why they're not, dissolving, because fruit is not meant to disappear.
And the texture, the mixing does not bother me, because I've had other vegan protein powders and other vegan drink mixes. It has a very similar texture to it. So to me, it doesn't bother me, because this is what I'm used to with a vegan product, with nothing added to it. So, because I've had a couple people ask me, well, do you like how it mixes? I do, yes. I think it mixes very well for not having additives in it.
And it doesn't leave a film. That's something with a lot of vegan products, especially like rice proteins and pea proteins and things like that. You'll just get a gross little film in there. And this doesn't have that for me.
All right, so next up is collagen. I am obsessed with our collagen, you guys. I absolutely love it. I never skip a day with our collagen. I think it tastes good. Like if I'm thirsty, I'm just drinking some collagen. The thing about our collagen is the fact that it is amino acids. Now, why that's so important. So when you ingest collagen from animals, it's going to be connective tissue, it's going to be nails, bones, things like that. So that's taken from an animal, it's ground up, put into a powder, some taste is usually added, some little sweetness or a little bit of flavor is added because it doesn't taste very good naturally. But then you mix it up, you drink it.
I like you, Amy.
You drink it. Okay, so now you've ingested collagen from an animal, right? So now your body has to go and break down that collagen that you just ingested from an animal, break it down into amino acids so that now your body can make it appropriate and make it into collagen acceptable for the human body. So in ingesting collagen amino acids, you've cut a whole step out. You've made what you're putting into your body readily available for you to start making collagen. That's why it's my favorite. You're cutting out the middleman. You're adding a good taste. I know I gave it, oh, my dad. I was like, you got to try this collagen because he was doing like the animal collagen and he put it in his coffee because that's what he does with the regular collagen. And he was like, well, I didn't know it was going to be sweet. I thought it was going to taste nasty. That's why I put it in my coffee with my creamer and my sugar and trying to sweeten it up. So don't put it in coffee, but put it with some water or some vodka. It's good. Another thing about the collagen that I was not aware of is how many vitamins it has in it and the fact that these vitamins are methylated. So there's methylated folate and vitamin B. Now, why it's so important that it's methylated is because 80% of women cannot break down vitamin B and folate in store-bought vitamins. When it's methylated, it's easily broken down and your body will accept it easier. A lot of times prenatals will not have them methylated and OBs will be like, oh no, you can't take this prenatal, this one. You need to make sure you're taking one that's methylated because you need to make sure that you're actually getting it. Your body can't break it down to reabsorb it. So it also has vitamin C, it has thiamine, which is also a B vitamin. Hyaluronic acid, which is in like all of our skincare products, which is so good because that's like an anchor for water. So like you can drink as much water as you want, but you need something to kind of absorb it and anchor it down. It has biotin, it has silica in it, which helps support like hair strength and thinning, supports like connective tissue. And it also, our collagen benefits the skin too. Do you have anything else to add about the collagen? I feel like I could I
love the collagen.
I love our collagen. I did not drink collagen before this because I just chose not to do like the connective tissue in the collagen. That just wasn't for me. Whatever floats your boat, that's fine. But when we had our collagen, I was like, I need 14 bottles. Give them all to me. I absolutely love them and I highly recommend them for absolutely everyone. Oh, sorry if I'm talking too fast. I get nervous. I'm sweating right now.
Ditto. Must be genetic.
So, and then just keep your questions and we'll stay and answer questions after too. But yeah, I absolutely love our collagen. I think it's really good. And collagen is actually super important in pregnancy. Yes. So people who are pregnant, it's great to incorporate that into your diets. After I'm back on sale, yeah. I will let you take the pre and probiotic. So we'll move on to balance.
Okay, so with the probiotic, the biggest things that we all like, the term we hear is, oh, like capsule and capsule. And they look really cute and capsule sounds like something fun. And they come in a pretty bottle. And I'm kind of a hard sell. So I wanted to dive in. I wanted to look more into it. And I think that's why my friends and like my clients have really responded to me promoting these, because they know I'm a little over picky with anything that's a supplement or any type of like wellness line in general. Um, so what's great about the capsule in capsule is that it gets where it needs to go and then it feeds it. So you may find a product with more units in it, with more bacteria and more probiotic in it. But that's because it's going into your stomach, it's digesting, and then just traces will make it through into your lower digestive tract where you need it. With the capsule and capsule, it kind of like protects it and acts like a little envelope, and it's going through the mail system and getting deposited where it needs to be, and that's where it can flourish. And most of your immunity and actually most of your mental health is all from your gut. So in your gut is where you make serotonin, and serotonin is like your feel-good hormone. If you have things like anxiety, depression, OCD, even more significant mental health issues, it's not your fault, and we all know that. It's a chemical imbalance. And so you need to balance the bacteria in your gut to make it a better environment so that you can produce that serotonin. You can make those other neurotransmitters. There's a significant amount of neurotransmitters and neurochemicals made in your gut. It's called the mind-gut connection. If anyone wants to look more into it, it's incredible. That's why we say you are what you eat as well. It does have some food coloring or some additive coloring to it. These are perfectly safe. If there was like an Olympic sport of hating food colors, I might take a gold medal. Red dye number 40 is my actual enemy. But this food dye is perfectly safe. There is no links to autism, ADHD, ADD, anything like that. No cardiovascular complications. So I think it's perfectly safe, and that's what I'll talk about. Like, I won't go on and on about food additives because I can for hours, but I won't. Oh, the ginger. Yes. So this is the herbal side of me. I saw that there's ginger and turmeric in it. Turmeric, haldi. These are all the same thing. It just depends on what word you learned first. So I'm going to say turmeric just because that's what I learned. And if it's like nails on a chalkboard to you, I'm sorry. So ginger is great because it's going to help support nausea. If you have a probiotic that's actually working and that's really making a difference with your gut flora, it's going to have some GI upset at the beginning. Whether that's, a change in your stooling pattern, whether that's nausea, they shouldn't cause vomiting. Very rarely will it cause any type of vomiting. But you'll feel it because your gut's going through a lot. It's like working out muscles. Your muscles are going to be sore. So that's not a reason to stop taking a probiotic just because you're having some nausea and upset. So the ginger can help combat that. So they're very proactive with that, which I really appreciated. And then the turmeric also helps with inflammation. This is one of my favorite herbs. So if you have a diet that is not necessarily the healthiest, that has high inflammatory foods, and even healthy foods can be inflammatory. Healthy dairies can cause inflammation as well. And this will help combat all of that in your gut. And because it's capsule and capsule, it's getting deeper into your system than something just by taking a pill or, by ingesting it orally normally would get to. Yeah, that's it. I get super passionate about the probiotic. It's like not a very glamorous product to talk about, but especially being like in peds, like we love talking about bowels.
If you have anybody complaining about like bloating or like irregular bowels, this is exactly what you need. I was taking a probiotic before I switched to our balance, and it had like 15 billion CEUs, whatever. And it was one capsule. So by the time it gets to your gut, you're only getting about 5 anyway. And though the one I was having wasn't a prebiotic as well. So the fact that ours is protected, has food for the probiotic, and it can actually flourish where it's supposed to. If your capsule opens up in your stomach, your digestive enzymes are going to just dissolve it. It's not going to get where it needs to go. So I love the science. I'm like a huge nerd, but I love the science behind this. It is such a good idea. And I have never thought of a dual cap, like a capsule within a capsule for this is, I love that.
Best time to take it. I typically tell people to take it in the morning on an empty stomach. at least a half an hour before food. If it's causing you significant upset during the transition phase, you can definitely take it with food. You'll still get really good benefits.
Yeah, so key is to take it on an empty stomach. Yeah. Gastritis, yeah. Oh, that's so good.
Ooh, very nice.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
That could be the turmeric will really help with that too. Not only just the probiotic, but also with the inflammation from the gastritis.
All right. Sleep drops. You guys. Okay. Let me tell you a little backstory. Okay. Because I have so many allergies, I break out and I've been like really good lately, but there was like a time where I was just breaking out in hives for no reason. My whole face would swell up. I would look like a creature. I like couldn't stop working. So I would keep going to work. I was taking like a Benadryl at work. Now I've been taking Benadryl since I was like literally a baby because my allergies have been so bad since I was like a kid. That Benadryl does not make me tired. Like I built up a tolerance to Benadryl. I can take a Benadryl and just go to work. It'll be fine. If I'm having a reaction, take a Benadryl, it'll be fine. I also work night shift, you guys. I've worked night shift for over 5 years now. So I work 3 12s a week. And for some reason I cannot do 3 shifts in a row anymore. So I have to do like 2 off, 1 on, whatever. So I'm doing more flipping now and I don't live on a night shift life. I do a day shift, whatever I have to do. On my flip days, I call them my flip days. So I would get home from work in the morning, try and sleep maybe 4 hours, 5 at the max. And I would get up and just try and stay awake until like midnight and then try and get up at a normal time the next day. Well, I eat my lunch at work at midnight. So I would wake up hungry, or I would wake up at 5 a.m. like ready to go, like ready, like, okay, what's going on? Like eyes wide open, like, okay, well, I guess I'll go watch TV for hours. I would fall asleep during the day. It was hard. And taking 50 milligrams of Benadryl doesn't knock me out. So I was like at a loss, and I did not want to start taking something to fall asleep. When these sleep drops came out, I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to do it. And I am obsessed. These are such a good product. If you know any night shift nurses, they need this. Any nurse in general needs this because they need to, it's hard to shut your brain off. So these sleep drops, side note, these sleep drops are not safe in pregnancy. So if anybody asks you if they're okay to take while it's pregnant, it is not okay to take pregnant because of the GABA that is in it. GABA is naturally occurring in your body, but ingesting more than what's naturally in you is not, it's never been tested on humans, but in like animals, when it's been tested, it just hasn't ended well. So I would not recommend taking this if you are pregnant, trying to get pregnant, or if you have a VIP who is pregnant. So GABA actually helps regulate your CNS or your central nervous system. So giving that a little bit helps like kind of regulate and kind of calm it down. It also has magnesium, which most women do not get enough of anyway, which can cause like RLS, if anyone has restless leg syndrome, gets cramps, gets headaches, migraines, insomnia. A lot of time that is linked to magnesium. There's actually a lot of like lotions for like your legs, like restless legs, that have magnesium infused into it to help like the jumpiness. So that getting it in the drops helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle, helps you get your little bit of magnesium.
GABA while pregnant. Good. So if you need it, definitely you want to take it while you're under someone that can keep everything monitored for you, for sure.
Yeah, if your levels are not where they're supposed to be, but if your doctor is telling you to, definitely do it. I'm saying that like if you just are getting pregnant and no one has told you to take it, I would not recommend taking it.
It's not like a willy-nilly type of thing. You know, it's not just like, I think it's okay. It's definitely a little bit more intense than like just your run-of-the-mill herbs that are.
Yeah. And everything has to be, you kind of have to take everything. If they're taking other medications, I can't like go through and say like, oh, this would not work with this medication. This wouldn't work with this. If someone has a concern, have them bring it up with their doctor, have them show them the ingredients, take a picture of the ingredients, and then they can share them with their doctor, or their mid-level, whoever, their PCP, whoever is handling it. Our sleep drops are non-habit forming. So that's what was nice for me when I was like off for a couple days. I wouldn't take them at night because I would just be, I'd be in my normal, I'd be okay to sleep. So I had no problem falling asleep without it either. It has chamomile in it, which is great for rest and also for inflammation. Chelsea like loves chamomile tea. She swears by chamomile, says it's the most underrated herb there is. It does have small dose melatonin in it. And some people get freaked out by melatonin, but you naturally have melatonin in your body. It helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle. And we have it's a very low dose in our sleep drops.
It's lower than what I prescribe to peds.
Yeah. So I've seen I want to say it's like 1 or 2 milligrams. Don't quote me on that, but like in the hospital, we're giving like up to 9 milligrams, you know, to grandma and grandpa over here to help them sleep. 1 milligram. Thank you. So it's a very small dose, but it's enough to it's enough of like a supplement boost. And it also has amino acids in it, which we all know are like the building blocks of everything. So having amino acids in it help you literally with everything. If it has amino acids in it, I'm down. I could go on about the sleep drops. I absolutely love them. And I have like a back stock of them because I never want to be without them.
I'll piggyback off the amino acids thing. When I talk about these products with people, they're like, but how much protein is it? But I have this that has 40 grams of protein. Well, I have whey that has 60 grams of protein. And I'm like, super. So the whole point of pounding that much protein into your body at once is because it takes that much protein. So you need this much protein to make like this many amino acids. Especially in something like whey, because our bodies are not designed to digest whey. And also the problem is that you're getting this many amino acids of one category. So in our products across the whole wellness line, there's a variety of amino acids. So they're ready for your body instantly. So your body doesn't need to work to use them. So it's actually better than protein. And if anyone's a bodybuilder that wants to choke me, sorry. But if you just explain it, they will know and they will understand the fact that there's a variety of amino acids. And I think don't quote me on the number, there's 8 or 9 different ones that are covered by our wellness line, which is phenomenal, especially being vegan vegetarian. Like it's really hard to get that many amino acids in your diet. So with the energy, I actually have not had any. I'm just naturally this hyper sometimes. So it does have 50 milligrams of the green bean coffee extract, which is great because it's energy, but it's not jittery. I rotate. So I'm a few months on nights, a few months on days. And so I get kind of funky and I'm not taking the sleep drops right now because I'm breastfeeding, but the energy I'll take just to kind of get me that little boost through the day. And I love coffee. We both love coffee. Like I love black coffee. I love strong coffee. I love any time. If mystery coffee pot on the counter, I don't care. I'm diving in. So I kind of stopped and thought about this. I was like, well, what's the coffee doing for me? Yes, I enjoy it, but like, what is this coffee doing for my body? Nothing except giving me this quick little jitter and then maybe a little bit of nausea because it's so acidic. And then it makes me want to sleep and have another cup of coffee. So when I switched to the energy that was sitting in my cupboards forever, but I was like, no, I drink coffee. I don't need energy. And I'm hyper. I don't need energy. So when I started getting off coffee and transitioning to this, because this is actually, not only it's going to wake you up and give you the energy, it's going to help your body overall because of the herbs that are in it. It has the rhodiola, which improves your mood. So, you know, you're tired, you're feeling crabby. This will help boost your mood as well, which sometimes that's enough to give you energy, you know, when you're just being a crab apple on a Monday and this gives you that little boost. It kind of makes it feel like I won't say Friday, that's a little dramatic. It makes it feel like, you know, Wednesday afternoon. And so it has ashwagandha, which is probably my third favorite. So it's, you know, turmeric, chamomile, and ashwagandha. Those are like the big 3 for me. This supports adrenal health. So this will give you energy and it's an extremely safe herb. I took it while I was pregnant because I needed energy. And this helps support your adrenals. So above your kidneys, you have these two little glands called your adrenal glands. Those are what kind of help regulate energy levels. And how would you describe adrenals? Like, your adrenaline and things like that is all kind of produced from those. So when you're stressed, when you're taxed, when you're going on sleepless nights, when you have a lot going on at work, when you have a lot going on with the kids or stressful situations going on socially, your adrenals actually get super, super taxed, and they actually drain and kind of shut down because they're just done. They're done fighting. So the energy has a ton of adaptogens in it that help support that adrenal health. The Schisandra berry in it helps with your skin, helps with your hair, and it's also a very strong mental health support herb. So it can help with mood regulation, it can help with depression, it can help with anxiety, help support, that's our term, help support your mental health overall. And then this also has the methylated vitamin B in it. And so when you're pregnant, you can't have caffeine. And I always thought, oh, it's because it's gonna, inhibit the growth of the baby, and when you're little, it stunts your growth and things like that. It's actually, it inhibits your vitamin B absorption, which is why we say to stay away from caffeine when you're pregnant. So when you have, let's say, a non-methylated, like a cyanocobalamin, that's your fun word for the day, which is a non-methylated vitamin B, you have a vitamin B that you can't absorb. Now you're introducing caffeine, and you can't absorb what you already can't absorb. You might as well not even be taking any vitamin B in on your diet or in your supplementation. So the fact that this is a methylated vitamin B without caffeine is you're really getting that vitamin B. And what is the basis of vitamin B? It's your energy vitamin. So not only is it helping you, does ashwagandha impact synthroid absorption? I have not heard any research that it does. I do have some people that I know that take Synthroid that also use ashwagandha, like tea and things like that. And the dose that's in the vitamin, the mixture overall, it's not an overwhelming amount. Like, it's not like a strictly an ashwagandha supplement. It's just one of the components that's in there.
And your Synthroid should be taken on an empty stomach as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that should be taken before you take any energy or anything, because you don't want anything to affect Synthroid absorption.
Yes, good point. Tonic herbs. So then the other components that are in energy are considered in Chinese medicine to be called tonic herbs, meaning that they're just good for your whole system. And for the sake of time, I won't go through each system, but just know that they're super awesome for you.
Yeah. So when you think of adaptogens, think of like it helps with your stress.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not only does it give you energy, it helps with your stress and your mood. You want to talk about
yes,
the packets?
My favorite part is that the designers of the packaging of this was very smart. This is the only product so far that's like travel and on the go. I love this at like 3 or 4, either in the morning or in the afternoon when I'm at work, because I work 7 to 7. So this is kind of my halfway point, like get me through the rest of my shift, but don't keep me up at night as soon as I get home, because then I want to go to sleep. So I have a ton in my bag, and this is how I've gotten the puppies. This is a great selling point too for like VIPs, as we mentioned earlier with like the monthly ordering. This is really easy to just hand someone, be like, hey, try this. They see you making it at work. Oh, hey, why don't you try one of these? And everyone that's tried it that I know has really liked it.
Yeah, those are great for samples and sending out gifts as well too. You can throw it in a little gift bag, send it out to VIPs, people who haven't tried. I've given some to people at work, and they've messaged me like, okay, yeah, I need that. It's only 50 milligrams. Yeah, dude, it's so good. I think it mixes okay as well. I usually just put it in like a Yeti cup and like use a frother. Is that the word? But I like the taste of it too. So let's finish with our new immune support pill with our cool chlorophyll capsule. Also, side note, it is very difficult to get vegan capsules. The fact that And I was so excited when we launched wellness because I was like, yes, everything is going to be vegan. I don't have to worry about capsules.
Yes.
They're usually gelatin. So it's usually made from pig. It's like, you don't have to worry about that at all. Like, I am so excited. And I got so excited when we launched it. That's like the first thing that popped in my head. Like, everything is going to be good and clean. So when I started looking into what is in our immune support, I was so overwhelmed. I was like, there is so much in there. So I like went on to Vitamin Shop and I just looked at the featured, when you pull up the product info sheet and there's like the featured side, I literally just took those ingredients, Googled them, searched the Vitamin Shop for just what I had over here. So it was not even including all of the other vitamins that weren't highlighted. Pricing it out, I looked for the cheapest product at the Vitamin Shop that I could get that would compare. And it was well over $100 to compare to what our immune support is. $100, and that did not include all of the small ingredients. I just looked at the highlighted stuff. So this is such a good deal, and you get so much bang for your buck here. It has a vitamin B blend, so a lot of your vitamin B's in there, not just your B12. A lot of your vitamin B's are in there. Your vitamin C is in there. Your vitamin D, which we're in Michigan, we need all the vitamin D we can get.
I think it's the whole damn bit.
It has ginseng, which is actually a great detox herb. It helps support fertility, hormone balance, athletic recovery, stress. It has iron, zinc, selenium, which are like almost impossible to get in your everyday diet because they're found in trace amounts. So it's very hard. You have to take supplements for those if you are trying to get the recommended amount in your system. It has echinacea, which is like a flower that since I was younger, I was always like, if you get sick, you start taking echinacea. And that's kind of where we need to retrain our mindset. We shouldn't be taking these things when we get sick. We should be supporting ourselves all of the time so that we don't get sick, so that we give ourselves a fighting chance. So not so that we feel that little cold just kind of hovering, that you're fighting it off. No, give yourself the support that you can fight it off right away. Echinacea is known for its antibacterial and antifungal effects. It increases your fighter cells basically in your body. And then the mushroom blend, which all of the 5 mushrooms that are in the mushroom blend are really good mushrooms. They help with energy. They help with, they help so many things. It's hard to break them down. And it's kind of been a newer trend, taking a look at what mushrooms do for you, but they systematically help in so many different ways. It's a great support. It's basically considered nature's superfood.
Yeah, and mushrooms, specifically the mushrooms in this. So you've got reishi, you've got cordyceps, you've got chaga, lion's mane. Those are some of the first herbs used or mushrooms used in herbal medicine. So be it in China and India where herbal medicine kind of originated, they recognized thousands of years ago that these have amazing health benefits. So the fact that there's a mushroom blend in here is not only trendy, but it's just really, really exciting that we're finally getting back to it. When should we take immune vitamin and empty stomach or eat? So with these, I suggest food because of the trace minerals in it, because the zinc, selenium, and what else was it? The iron, because of those, that can kind of cause some upset stomach. So
yeah, the iron's kind of hard on your stomach. Do you know what the 10-to-1 ratio for
I was looking at that. So I'm not familiar with the 10-to-1 ratio.
I'm wondering if that's the concentration
maybe
of it. I don't know that.
I can look it up and then send an email. Something else. Where did it say the 10-to-1? 10-to-1. Oh, 10-to-1 concentrated. Yeah. So it's most likely what's considered an echinacea tincture, which means that, they take the echinacea flower itself and then they kind of break it down and kind of reduce it down to a concentration. And then they're adding, the 10-to-1 is just the amount of echinacea that you're getting essentially.
Well, that's what we have. Do you guys have any questions for us?
Okay, if you were to start, I learned so much, and I've been like the biggest, I think because I don't know a ton about wellness, I've been the person to be like, shy away from it, but I love the sleep drops. I love the energy. I was taking the pre and probiotic, and I just started again because I was like feeling like, ugh, whatever. But like this makes you want to take everything. And I feel like I understand it so much better now. But if you were to say, like, someone starting out, what is the number one go-to that they should have? What do you think it should be? Like, I can only, whatever. I guess you would listen to the customer, but other than listening to the customer, if the customer was like, tell me what I need that's going to be a game changer for me, what would you recommend?
Yeah, give your answer and then I'll give mine and we'll see if they match.
So so the immune support is a game changer. This is such a good, such a good supplement. The immune support, you're going to get literally everything you need in it. The pre and probiotic, the balance, that's really important because 70% of your health is in your gut. So if you do not have a healthy gut, you are not going to be healthy either. So I like the pre and probiotic, the immune support, and then I would do the collagen. That would be like my trio to be like, here's what we're going to do to start. And then we'll add the energy sticks on, and then stuff gets added on. But the collagen mix is the best in my opinion too. I don't think
I'm doing it. I'm breastfeeding.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything in here that would not be okay.
Yeah.
Because none of these are recommended. I mean, they're vitamins. The ginseng is okay. Most of these are in prenatal actually.
Yeah.
It's
just the
echinacea
mushroom
is
blend
okay.
that's not studied, but
The
You
mushroom.
can always just say, like, check with your doctor, doctor.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, they don't tell you to shy away from like regular mushrooms. I guess it's different when you're like eating them, but yeah, I don't see anything like right off the top that I'm like, I would not recommend that, but save your butt, have them go to the doctor.
Yeah.
But that's my 3. The collagen mix is the best. So you're like, I don't know, building trust that your like products actually do mix, which a lot of like vegan supplements don't. So that's why I kind of like that one too. And then, yeah, that's the best mixing one, I think. What are your top 3?
So my top, I might go with like a collagen first, because it's a very hot topic right now. As you know, there's like a commercial with Jennifer Aniston drinking collagen. So now everyone thinks it's like the greatest thing in the world. And like you said, like it's delicious. It mixes well. I love the immune support. I think that's the best supplement I've ever seen as far as immune health goes. But you're not going to feel the results of that necessarily. You're just going to not be sick. So you might not even notice that it's working, even though it's doing fantastic things for you. You might not notice it. And same with like the probiotic, it's doing amazing things, but to kind of get people like hooked on the wellness line, I think you need a little bit of like a teaser. So like give them, the collagen with all the benefits and the way that you can pitch the collagen to them. And then it's going to be delicious. And then, the greens, you can say it's going to give you 37 fruits and veggies in 1 scoop. You've got picky eaters at home, throw it in a yogurt smoothie or something like that for your kids. I think that they might see the benefits of those faster than they would see benefits of the others. But I don't know, we both get pretty fired up about all of them. So it depends on what they're looking for, really.
Then I have one more question for you, because I know this was the thing for a bunch of the girls on our team is like, and I think you've kind of mentioned it, but I kind of want to bring it all home, is like what so there's so much wellness on the market, right? What is so different about ours? And I think you touched on it with like a couple of things, but just to like drive it home, like what is so different about our wellness?
I think the fact that like we have like scientific studies like backing it. So all of the research done into it. When looking at our ingredients are so much better than what in like just store-bought things. Most energy supplements don't have adaptogens in it, which helps support your stress levels, your mood, helps support your adrenals. They will mostly be like a high caffeinated powder. In our like greens, a lot of the ingredients are like whole fruit or whole vegetable. And then you will have some that are like the leaves, and then you'll have some that are the seed. So you're not just getting leaves across the board. You're not just getting the fruit across the board. You're getting you're getting the whole puzzle basically. You're not just getting the same pieces. You're getting everything to fit together, and you're getting the best, what's the word I'm looking for?
Best bang for your buck.
Yeah.
And can I add on?
Yeah.
I'm like, you can tell we get really, really excited about this stuff. The transparency of the label that tells you what part of the plant you're consuming, because the plant is so different, the different parts of it. So we have aerial parts, which is like the flower. You have the leaves, you have the roots. The leaf and the root do not have the same nutrients. So if you're telling me that you're giving me an apple, but then you're stating, apple, and then in parentheses it says leaves, well, that's great, but that doesn't really do anything for me. I need the apple fruit. So just the fact that it lists every part, you can really feel comfortable that you are getting the nutritious part of it, not the cheap part of it.
And you'll find now that a lot of people are looking for plant-based solutions. So ours is plant-based. That's why I think it's better. And if you know a vegan, they're super passionate about it. So this is like, if you know anybody who is vegan, throw this their way, because this is huge.
This has been so helpful. Any other questions? I'm just checking the chat. I can't even scroll up. Checking the chat. So like Lindsay mentioned before, always go back, and if there's a question, always say like, always check with your doctor, always check with your doctor. There's things within the Slay Squad that give you language about supporting and not making medical claims, which we can't do. But it even just says, someone just said our products work hand in hand with each other. This is what I like about hair, skin, and wellness. They can check with pharmacists too. Yeah, especially if there's like drug interactions and stuff like that. This was freaking amazing. I learned so much. I am so excited. I'm literally going to go take out everything. And like, I'm actually going to go mix myself up a collagen and vodka right now. Probably defeats the purpose of the collagen, but wait, what did Lindsay say?
It may actually be better absorbed with vodka because of the.
You put water in it too. It's not just vodka and collagen. That's water. Yeah, right, Linz. Like I was like, this makes me feel so much more knowledgeable. I can't even tell you, because wellness was my weakness, and now I feel like I can go back and like watch this a million times. So this will be something like when we do product training ones, we don't delete those. So we will have this one so that you can go back and you can watch it absolutely whenever you want, because this has been so great. And I was wondering why my mood changes. Are you going to Cooper? I was wondering why my mood changes after this. And now I learned the word adaptogens, and like, that's why I didn't want to like, kill somebody today after. But these have been like super helpful for me. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Your sister is incredible. Like what? Like that was incredible. the baby's coming. Oh.
He's getting a little fussy. This is a product of the greens. That's your sales pitch.
We can make medical claims, but he's from the Greens, guys. Okay. Thank you times a million. If you have any questions, when we post this in Director of Behavior, you can always post questions for Sami and for Chelsea. And I'll get this up in Director of Behavior soon. Thank you guys so much. This was so awesome. All right. And thank you, because I know it's your night off. So thank you.
Oh, it was so much fun. Thanks, you guys.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.